no bubble out in my corner. Just go putting things in order. Hey, no bubble out in my corner. Just go putting things in order. Oh, behave. I was outside on a hopeless day, tryna bump rides on an OT wave. White boys screaming out OT day. Hey.
What happened? You want to sit down? Wait. Mama's trying to do video. You can read Mama's video?
Yes.
Okay. She's waking up.
The GP will see you now.
On my breath, I cannot replace. 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 Oluwa Mumi, how can I deny ya? I cannot explain it. Jackie Fanyin Shire. Oluwa Dara see me. Let me say what I know. God, you're so amazing. Always there when I call. Cause you do much for me and won't let me go. God, you're good to me. It's one thing I know. You do much for me and won't let me go. God, you're good to me. It's one thing I know. Lord, you're good to me. So good to me. Good to me. Lord, you're good to me. So good to me. Good to me.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to be consistent. This postpartum, you go through a lot of things and just a lot of thoughts, and I really wanted to just do a video of sharing what motherhood is like, things that I've learned in this season of, well, not even a season, things that I've learned in being a mother, now that I'm a mother of two, though I'm not that experienced in the sense of like longevity of years. Just my experience so far, I've learned so much, and I really want to share that. But before I can even share, there's this quote that I've read many times that really hit me, and it's a quote by Elizabeth Elliot, and she says, "Motherhood is a vessel which no human being has ever been born into. We are created, cultivated to learn how to be a mother." And I just wanted to like start off with that, because the reality is we're not born, I mean, as a baby, you're not born into the role of a mother. Motherhood is obviously something that you learn. One of the first things that I've learned is humility. Admitting that you don't know it all, admitting you don't have it all together, and intentionally being willing to grow in those places, in those areas that you see that you struggle. If we don't have humility, pride is the opposite. So learning to deal with conflict, learning to deal with challenges, instead of putting on that mindset of like, man, like, let me press into learning how I can do better, or how I can grow from this if you've made a mistake. I saw this quote online on Instagram by a pastor named Eric Mason. Some of you guys may know him, but I thought this quote, for me, it hit home. He said, "Unhealed past trauma, when presented with future moments of hurt that are normal, we apply the past trauma to issues and people that may be minor and non-traumatic." In humility, you have to admit, humility forces us to admit our past trauma. Since motherhood is something that you are learning to become, if you do not deal with past hurt and past trauma that you've endured as a child, or maybe the way that you saw motherhood played out in your household, the unhealed parts of you will show itself in motherhood. And I've had to learn, like, man, even as a young adult, just learning, like, man, what are some of the things that I know that I struggle with? what are some things, some triggers that, some past pains that I've endured. And I think motherhood brings that out, if I'm honest. Like, motherhood will bring out those pain when you see yourself making mistakes, when you see your child not behaving in the way that you desire them to behave, when you see them acting up, when you see yourself feeling embarrassed. A lot of that stems from past pain that you've endured as a child or growing up. And I think dealing with that, and humility really allows you to admit it first. So the second thing that motherhood has taught me is grace, welcoming grace in hardships. One thing that I've had to be forced with embracing grace is first learning, like, man, the same grace that, for me personally, that I see God has extended to me in my flaws, and embracing that and seeing that. When we embrace grace, it teaches us to apply grace to our children later. One of the things that I started to see myself do with Liam, especially when now he's 2, the man can talk, he responds with emotions, which is good. Like, I want him to share when he is feeling sad or feeling angry. But the other day, he like bit the mess out of Will, like bit him, and I hear Will yell, like yell in pain, like ow, like, because Liam like actually went and bit the man, and I run into the room, and I got frustrated because I'm like, we've been telling Liam about like biting is not a good thing to do in the past, and to see him like redo it again, there was a sense of anger that came out, that I was just like, Liam, like sit down right now. What did we tell you? Like, do not bite. And I saw this fear like come to his face, of where he was just scared. He was like, oh my gosh, like he knew it was serious, like mama is not playing. And me seeing his response, I had to put myself in his shoes and say, like, man, what is the right way to respond to how he is taking in what he is feeling? And I calmly sat down eye to eye with him and just explained to him, like, Liam, we love you. We want you to not hurt daddy or mommy. Please, like, and just repetitious, doing words of affirmation with him, like, you know, we love you. You're sweet. You know, you're kind, and just affirming him who he is, so that he knows, like, man, that we still love him, like, even if he does something that frustrates us. And I think going back to understanding the grace that God extends to us helps us embrace, like, man, we have a God that loves us and is willing to teach us in our mistakes. So that for me was a moment that I literally got teary-eyed with him, because I just wanted him to understand, even in the place of frustration, like, mommy and daddy cares deeply for you and wants you to know to do better, wants you to flourish, and wants you to know in your mistakes we can approach him, and we are approachable even in his mistakes. The third thing that I learned is community. Don't be afraid to join or find other mothers who is doing the life of motherhood, who is living out the hardships. I think when I first gave birth to Liam, there was a moment of my postpartum that I felt so overwhelmed, and I was legit scared. Like, I have a number full of women who I know that we all attend the same church, and they too gave birth, and there was like a sense of fear of like, no, I need to do this. Like, I need to know how to be a mother all by myself. I need to learn this. And a sister reached out to me and asked me, hey, how's things doing? Like really, how are things doing in your journey with motherhood? And I opened up and shared, like, man, it's so hard. So I got a chance to open up to my friend, to the sister, and let her know, like, man, it's been hard. Breastfeeding has been hard. this whole entire it's just been hard. Like, it's been hard. And I remember her response being like, oh, let me come, I know what can help you. There's a cream, a nipple cream that helps soothe the process, and I'm gonna buy it for you, and I'm bringing it and helping. She is actually a nurse, and she came over to the house like probably like the next day, brought the cream to help me, and actually sat there and taught me how to properly get Liam to latch on. And I just remembered, like, at that moment, like, yo, that is so vulnerable. Like, me letting a sister like actually help me to teach me to properly get my son to breast, to latch on correctly so I can breastfeed him. That was like such a vulnerable moment for me personally, but it also was an eye-opener for me to see, like, man, like, there's beauty in community. Like, we need each other. Going through motherhood alone can feel very lonely. Like, it really can. We were not created like to go through life alone. And I think with motherhood, take that opportunity to be with community. The fourth thing that I've learned is, man, just seeing the purpose in motherhood. Like, you are purposed to do this. Like, it is not a mistake that you are a mother. I truly believe that God doesn't call us to a task without giving us what we need to do it. There is a reason why you are a mother. And I think, like, finding a purpose in that truth, and resting in that truth and reflecting on that truth, that this is not a mistake. Like, you being that role is not a mistake. And walking out in that purpose of, man, like, I'm willing to care for this child and do what I need to do so that they know who they are, like, in their identity, fully made, like, they are not a mistake. And you too are not a mistake in the role of being a mother. And I think, man, embracing that can teach us. We're motivated to continue to learn, as a mom, or as a new mom, or as a veteran mom, to how to love and care for our children in a God-honoring way. For me as a believer, I think that's like a high priority. It's like, man, I want them to know, like, fully who they are, and that they're loved deeply, you know, by God first and by us as their parents. It's just important, like, just to know that you're purposed to do this, and to walk out that purpose. So yeah, I'll say those are the four. Although there's many other things that I've learned in motherhood, I'll say those four things have truly impacted me. Thank you guys for watching.
I cannot replace you. On my bed, I cannot replace you. Oluwa move me.